Upload season one. I basically just binge watched the whole season this afternoon, and overall, wasn't what I expected, but I did enjoy it. As the season progressed, I found myself, more intrigued. I want to find out. I want to see what happens to these characters, and I was really hooked in. Uh, the show, I will just say, just straight out, was not funny. It's supposed to be a comedy. There were odd little moments here and there that put a smile on my face. Some of the characters are a little bit goofy, but really, this is not a knee slapping, rolling on the floor, laugh your ass off comedy. It just isn't, and that's okay. It was really, in the end, a very lighthearted drama with some mystery, a little bit of romance in there, and really just hit all the right notes for me. I don't need shows to be any one thing. I don't need to just sit down and watch just a comedy. It's all right for a show to be all over the map as long as it's overall all over the map in a good way. I really enjoyed a few of our characters, specifically Nathan and Nora, and all their character arcs over the season. They really were interesting. A few of the background characters at the horizon were very interesting. Alicia, she was kind of a fun character to just have as a little zap here and there. So that was nice. Some characters like Luke and even Dylan that were in Lakeview in the afterlife, they're kind of fun to have around. The little AI guy that just keeps popping up in the background. It's always like he always just catches your eye, and you always just have to think like, what is he doing now? Like, what is going on there? So yeah, it just was a fun little show to watch. Not didn't do any one thing amazing. It just did a lot of little things really well. I very much appreciated how they handled the little love triangle between Ingrid, Nathan, and Nora. It's a very bizarre situation. Ingrid and Nathan were dating before he died. Try to continue this relationship after Nathan dies, but Nathan decides he wants to move on, and then unbeknownst to him, Ingrid is kind of going through things herself and sort of realizing that her life maybe wasn't as great as she thought, and maybe there was something going on, and she just really wanted to be with Nathan, even if Nathan said he didn't want to. And of course, we end with Ingrid in that very end moment of the show where we find out that she has decided to upload herself, and that's kind of the little last cliffhanger that we're left with. And it's one of those moments, like, just kind of jaw dropping, that you don't expect from a very soft, lighthearted show like Upload. So it was a very, very big twist at the end, I felt, and something I definitely didn't see coming. Even though you could see that Ingrid wasn't taking no for the end of that relationship. Other things I liked, like I said, the whole love triangle there, the relationship with Nathan and Nora, it's very cute all season long. It's one of those relationships that you're just rooting for, and you want those two characters to end up together, and they kind of do in the end. But of course, Nora's big end to the season is her heading off the grid, because the further she looks into Nathan's death, the more dangerous her life becomes, even with the guy coming to kill her in the last episode. So, you know, these are not things that you expect out of a comedy, but it was very entertaining to watch, and I really enjoyed the season and will be looking forward to season 2 whenever it comes out. So, Nathan, his whole story really revolves around his love life, which I've kind of gone over, and then also basically coming to the realization that he was murdered and him having no idea why. So we kind of see him transitioning from being alive to being dead, from thinking, adjusting to the afterlife, to finding out he's been murdered, and then in the midst of that, falling in love with Nora, to getting his memories back and discovering that, maybe he was possibly the bad guy in the whole situation. We don't get the full picture there. We only really got to see one of his deleted memories. It looked like there was a lot more there. So maybe that's something that we find out a little more about in season 2. But I just really liked how his story progressed. And really we don't see many full-on dramas that have this much story and this much character progression and this deep of dynamic between the characters. So it was a very pleasant surprise for me. Definitely not what I expected when I sat down for this show, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think that's probably it for my season 1 thoughts on Upload. So thank you so much for watching, and we will check you later. See ya.